Okay, you guys, for the next step, we will need the mold. This mold is custom made for make BBMPulser coils. All right. So the next thing what we're gonna do is this is gonna be a two-part coil. So half part, one part of one part of resin will be filled to here, probably like around here, and then I will take it out of the mold and I'll make a cut here. I'll make a perfect cut here, the silicone, and then I'll put it back inside the mold and I'll fill up from this side a different type of plastic. It's gonna be hard white plastic, and the first type of rubberish plastic is gonna go here, and it will be injected from the bottom here. There is a hole here that I will be injecting it from here. So that's what we're gonna do first is we'll put this encase this into the plastic. So, and let me show you type of plastic. No, I don't have it here right now available, but all right, so let's put this inside the mold. Here's how I do it. Just open it up and try not to bend it much, and I'll stick it in there. There we go. Once I got that stuck in there, I'll push the wire in from here along the way, just like that. Then I'll look inside and I'll make sure that coil is centered and the wires are coming out from the center. That's very important. And this one seems to be fine. Then I'll also make sure that thermal switch is touching the coil, and it's touching it here. Then I have a small insulation in between. It's good, and this coil is good to go. So the next thing, I'll place it here and I'll push it. I'll push the coil all the way to the floor, to the bottom, and this is gonna be a top of the mold. And then I'll take a needles and I'll close it. Make sure it's lining up correctly, and I'll go ahead and close it. And one needle, another needle here, make sure it's lining up. All right, one more needle right in this area here, and last one over here. Okay. This is a piece of board that I use. I just place this over so that it stays rigid here. Okay. And I place it like that, and I shrink wrap it. Okay. Okay, after I shrink wrapped it. So I need to insert the tubing. I will be injecting the resin through this hole here, and for that reason I have to set it over here like that. Just a second. I'm using some things here. Just like that. Now this mold is ready to be injected. Push it back, make sure it's all the way sits there. Seems to be good. Okay, you guys, the next step is we're gonna fill up the bottom part here with this Flex at 90 resin. Let me show you here. So Flex at 90 side B resin and Flex at 90 side A hardener. Polyurethane resin, casting resin. All right, it's work time 3 minutes, cure time 1.5 hours. So here's what I do. I'll take 3 cups. 2 cups I'll use for both of the resins, and the 3rd cup I'll mix it in a 3rd cup. Let me grab. Okay, I got a mixing stick here. Another thing is I will slightly mix them. I'll slightly mix them, but not too hard, so I don't get too much bubbles in. Alright, got it mixed. So another thing I will use is a bottle from drinking water, and I have made a hole into the cap here and connected to the tube, 1/4 inch tube. So later I will twist it here and I'll flip it and push the resin into here. All right, so let's fill up. I already know how much it's gonna take, so just a little more, about this much resin it will take to fill up there's one and the second one here. I'll make them so they're about the same. A little more. About that much. All right, next step I will do is I will mix them and put it in this bottle here. So I have my new cup here that I will mix. And count 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So mix it like that, and I'll start mixing, and I'll try not to get bubbles in here. Now I have 3 minutes work time. It's actually a little less than that. It's kind of hot here, so I'll try to mix it. I twist it as I mix it, twist it, make it. It's already heating up. Feel it, it's warm. Reactions start taking place. All right, now I have to dump it all in a bottle. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, now I have my bottle here. I'm gonna attach it to the, and I'll squeeze it inside. Just a second, I'll make sure you see it. I'm pushing it inside right now. You see the resin is disappearing. It's going through the tube inside the mold. Almost, it's a little bit left. And the resin's getting hard already. I tried smaller tube and just not enough time to push it. So once I pushed pretty much all the resin, a little bit left, I'll close the tube. Sorry about that. This is garbage. Throw that away. And I'll wait for this resin to harden. I'm gonna put this over here, close it up, possibly over here, and here we go. Just wait for it to harden. I'll wait about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, up to 20 minutes. And so we'll check and see how it's gonna turn out after 20 minutes. Alright, it's been some time. I said 20 minutes, but it's been about 2 hours. So let's see what we got. Let me take this down. I got it all connected here. Just a second. Let me untie it here. And let's take a look. See what we got here. Pull this out. Set it aside. Okay. Now I gotta pull out the needles. So remember, I've installed some needles here. Let's get the needles out. There's 1, 2, 3. And there was 1 more right here. All right, get the needles out. So let's see what we got. Well, looks like filled up nicely. So first thing I would touch how hard it is. I already know it's been here for a couple hours, and I know this resin within 2 hours it gets set pretty much all the way. So I'll go ahead and pull it out. I can just use it, grab it on the handle and start pulling it out like that. Okay, let's see what we got. Very nice. No bubbles. The LCD display is straight. Right here, the line is pretty much flat. That's where it connects, right here. And so this line, usually if I don't put the needles here, when I close it, one side might go over like that, and when you fill up with the mold and take it out, you're gonna have a line here. And right now I don't have any line, which is very nice. I like it. So good, successful one. Right here seems like this side went up a little bit, but it's okay, it'll still work right here. So I'll remove that. This piece, I'll cut it off, just carefully cut it off, and I will, sorry about that, I just cut off the piece here that I injected the resin through. Okay, and so the next step I will do is I will mark my line here is about right here. Usually I would leave it this much resin here. This allows it to stretch and bend anytime I want, anytime it requires to bend. So what I will do is I will try to cut in here like that into the resin, and I will move this line across over onto the top of the coil like that. Let me see this side. The line is right here, so I'll expand the line to go on this to the top, and I will connect the line here. Here we are. Okay, now once that's complete, I'll take the coil, push it against myself, and I will try to, just a second, I'll lower the camera more. Let's see what's going on. And I will try to cut off. This is the axis all the way to here. Next time I have to fill up less. I overfilled a little bit. But what I will do is I will cut this off. Yes, it will take me some time, and I am not gonna bother you with watching this boring process. So I'll show you when it's all complete. So I'll just keep doing this up until I get to the core, and more and more and more, just like that. Alright, you guys, so I got it all stripped out. Check it out. And it's a coil here. So the next step would be is to shrink wrap this so that when I fill up from the top, resin wouldn't coat this bottom part. I want this to be somewhat original the way it is, without any coating or anything over it. So for that purpose, let me remove these pieces here. Okay, for that purpose I use clear shrink wrap. So this is the clear shrink wrap I use right here, and I'll start shrink wrapping it like that, and we'll go over this way, I'll go here, I'll go here. The idea is to cover everything, shrink wrap, so that resin wouldn't get in here. Okay, and this back part here, needs to be covered as well, like that. And it up like here. All right, in these parts right here, I need to remove the shrink wrap. Make sure it doesn't go on this surface here, because this is the surface that my white plastic is gonna be touching here. So I'm removing this shrink wrap right here very carefully. I should have been more careful installing it and not getting it in here. There's some on the bottom, so I will cut this off like that. Make sure there is nothing here. All right, looks good. Looks good to me. Now I will take my mold and place this back inside the mold. Before I do that, I usually let me grab one marker here and I make a mark. And now I put this back in. Okay. And fill this in. And then I would look in here for my mark and make sure that increase the brightness. Yep, that's right in the center. I would look in there and make sure that's in the center. Okay, then another thing, I decrease the brightness here. When I open this part here, I want to make sure again that there is no plastic. I went back over into this part, so I will remove the plastic. It did get back in here on the bottom. I got a plastic on the bottom as well again, so I move it over and some more. Okay, you guys, I have fixed and make sure that no clear wrap is getting on the surface over here, and that's very important because I want to make sure that my white plastic attaches to this here, this surface here. Okay, so once I got this closed up, I will straighten it out and lock it up. So I will use my 4 needles here. Okay, once I locked it with the needles, I will shrink wrap it. Okay, after I shrink wrap all that, I will prepare to plastic through this hole here. So the way I do it is like that. Set it here on the floor, and I'll support this wire here. Okay, it's ready for injection. let me show you what I use. Alright, so the next step is to mix polyurethane casting resins for the handle itself. I am using SPC, Specialty Resin and Chemicals company, polyurethane casting resin. This one is hard, and when it dries it becomes white, and also dries pretty quick, about 2 minutes, that's what it takes. So let's fill it up to the level and let's get it going. I already pre-mixed it to push out, pre-mix it so it's all nicely mixed. If I don't mix it, it won't end up what I want. So usually pre-mix it, but get it about the same. Sorry about that. Get it about the same here. All right, so the next step I will do is I'll mix them, and then I'll put it into the empty bottle. And another thing, on this tube here, I usually round these sides up so that when I put it here, make sure you can see it, it doesn't scratch up any of this clear wrap and doesn't expose, doesn't make any hole for plastic to get inside here. That's important. So let me take a torch and burn it up. Usually would burn it up a little bit, and then it's not sharp at the edges. Okay, so right here is not sharp, and I'll go ahead and put that in here. Like that. I'll insert it about this much. Alright, you guys, let's mix it. On a count 3. 1, 2, 3. And this resin sets pretty quick. Can't waste any time with this resin. All right. Fill up my bottle that I will inject it out of. Okay, let's go here. And I'll go ahead and inject it. It injects nicely. That's it. Fill out. So now I'll start pulling it out and filling it up. Okay. I'll make sure that it's all the way filled to the top. Seems to be good. Just a second. Present in here is already set it. So we'll already use this cap here, but that's about it. Basically it's some garbage. So give it a 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, and we'll open up and see what happens. All right, you guys, it's been about 10-15 minutes, so let's take a look inside, see what we have. All right, let's get this clear up, cut, and let's look inside. Let's remove needles. There's a few needles here that I inserted to hold. Here's a needle one. There's a second one here. And two more. There's one here. And the last one is here. Okay, ready? Here we are. That's a nice white handle. Let's take it out and look at it. Well, what can you say? I think I like it. Looks pretty nice. All straight. So let me show you. Let me put this mold, and here we are. So I'd like to show you something, guys. You see this part? You see how plastic got all the way up to here? If I wouldn't clear up this, the plastic would stick to this rubberish resin here, and it would be really hard to scratch it off. So that's why I put a clear wrap, and let me show you. Once I take it out, take it off, take a clear wrap off. Here we are, nice and clean. You see, like nothing happened. So the next part is to file these edges here, fix this edge. If you can see this line here, it goes across. It's pretty much fine. There are almost no line. In some areas it just appears. Also this part here, and what I first do is I'll make sure there is no air bubbles, and there is air bubbles right here. So I have to fix this air bubbles first before removing this part. I can remove this part, but before going any farther, removing the clear wrap, I have to fix this air bubbles right here. Okay, other than that, let me see, look here, looks good. On this area looks good. So that's it. Basically, this is a finished product. Just needs to be worked a little bit and finalized. Needs to be finalized. So the next step would be a finalization of the coil. So now we have it already made, and we have filled one part of the coil, we have filled the second part of the coil, and it's all solid as one piece. Now we have to finalize it, and the finalizing process is the